Hello, I'm to show you how to see the Vonage AI workflow in action. Um, we are going to test the reschedule workflow. To do this, I have created I have requested an appointment to this professional for today at 6 p.m. and um, yeah, now the idea will be to change it to probably to Thursday or Friday 3. When the user requests an appointment and the professional confirm the appointment schedule, um, the client receive an email that includes the appointment number. Well, there are two ways to test the workflow. One of them is publishing the workflow. This is considered to be like a production version of the appointment. Once if you click in the publish button, Vonage AI allows you to create a new version, and we can add a friendly number just to identify the this version. Also, we can add a description with something that uh, you know a stable version. But also we have a tester option. The tester option is this doesn't publish the workflow, so it allows you to test the changes without creating a new version, which is useful uh, when we have something in progress. And we have two options: to use the chat and to use the phone call. I'm going to use the phone call option. I will add in here my phone number, and what will happen now is that the I'm going to receive a call from from the Vonage AI dashboard. I will answer that phone call, and it will start the agent flow. The unique difference versus the production is that instead of I receive a call, I have to call uh, to the virtual phone number. But in this case, using the tester, I will receive a call. So this is the unique difference. So everything else, the workflow, all the other stuff will be the same. But yeah, if I call directly to the virtual phone number, I will be uh, calling to the current uh, published version, to the last one. But using the tester, I will be using the last changes that I have in the in the um, in the editor. So there is a this is the unique difference that I think. But yeah, let's see. Okay, I click in here. There is a message saying that there is a call, and I receive a call now. Okay, I answer it.
Thanks for calling to SimplyDoc. How can I help you?
I need to schedule my appointment.
May I ask the appointment number to be rescheduled?
Yes, it's 974028.
The provided appointment number doesn't exist. May I ask the appointment number to be rescheduled? Appointment is scheduled for March 3rd, 2022 at 0 o'clock. What should be the new date?
March 3,
What should be the new time?
6 a.m.
The new date for the appointment will be March 3rd, 2022 at 6 o'clock. Is that correct?
Yes, correct.
The appointment reschedule was completed. Bye.
All right. Hopefully you were able to hear. Basically, it was pretty straightforward. Um, Yeah, at the beginning when it asked me the appointment number, probably I pronounced in the wrong way the appointment number, but also I but since I'm in here, let me show you. Well, when we are collecting the phone number, sorry, the appointment number, um, we have enabled the option to type to use the keypad to provide the appointment number. Once it's they pay receive it, it do a web request, and if the appointment was valid, it hopefully you were able to hear that it said that the current appointment date and time, and then it asked me for the new date and for the new time, and asked me to confirm. Once I'm confirmed, it's do a new request to the database to update the appointment, and then it was success. It's just told me that was completed and end the call. And well, in here I have created like an agent, our virtual agent, which is SimplyDoc, and also I have assigned a virtual phone number to this. And let's see how it looks like. Well, first of all, let me show you something. Um, Let me do a special mention for intents, which is a property of Vonage AI. Intents are the way that Vonage AI have to identify what users that call to our built-in number are looking for. For example, in here I have an intent called reschedule appointment, and inside of this intent I have expressions that will allows me to identify if the caller user is looking for uh, appointment reschedule. And in here I can have more expressions. For example, reschedule right now. For example, something like that. I don't know. But this is really important to have those expressions to be clear, and also avoid to have similar expressions in other intents. So this is really important, and it's really powerful because um, in here we are basically we are saying to our agent, okay, if the user um, use this expression, do we are going to do some decisions to take some decision based on those intents. For example, in here I have another intent to confirm a process. You can see I have two more expressions for this. Um, Also to cancel a process, I have um, another uh, intent for it. So, well, don't worry if you don't understand right now this. We will see how I use them in the flow. Something else to mention is the parameters. Parameters are also really powerful because this is the way how we um, can handle data or values through the flows. As and yeah, we will check it out how to use them through the call flows, how to update the values, how to use them, how to set values to those parameters. Let's now take a look at the flow. Well, everything starts with with an start. node, and then we start, trying to initialize a conversation with the caller user. Uh, and because of that, I have this pretty simple uh, greeting message. Oh, thanks for calling to SimplyDoc. Uh, and here I have another node, which is a collect collect node to collect information from the user. Um, in something important in here is you can see in here I have the first parameter. In here I can add more parameters. Why parameters are important? Well, because when the user, supposing here we're going to ask to the user, let me close this. Yeah, this this is a collect parameter. It will ask the user, how can I help you? And the user answer will be stored in this parameter that I will set in here, which is topic parameter. I can add more parameters in here. You can see I have some of them. Each parameter have an entity type, so you can have numbers and time, date, and this is important because if, for example, in here I have this that the topic parameter will looks for any value, which means the Vonage AI will be waiting for anything that the user said. But for example, for the appointment date or for the appointment new date, Vonage AI will identify the dates that the user will say in the call. For example, what should be the new appointment date? If the user said, ah, the the new date should be uh, March 1st, for example, the Vonage AI will identify just the date and assign this value to this parameter, which is really, really powerful and it's amazing. Um, well, here I have the parameter topic and ask to the user, how can I help you? The user will say, oh, I need to, I don't know, reschedule an appointment. I will need to switch my call or change my call to video call or change my video call to be a single call. Those scenarios, this is why we have a classification node in here. This will allow us to, um, based on the user answer, we will decide what we're going to do. In here, we can also add more classification options in here. For example, if the user wants to know what's the date for the appointment, or if they are looking for a specific doctor, things like that, we can add that in here, too much classifications as needed. Um, in here you can see the classification also looks for a parameter, which is the parameter that we already set in the collect node. Why bonus AI needed? Well, because this topic parameter already have the user answer collected by the bonus AI API. So based on that, it compares versus the intents that I showed you at the beginning. Um, the bonus AI will comes in here and will looks for the for which of those intents match with the user answer. Based on that, we will redirect, not redirect, probably we will follow um, other the specific flow that correspond to the user answer. For example, if we ask to the user, how can I help you? Uh, and the user said, oh, I need to schedule my appointment. Okay, I will redirect the user to the reschedule, um, reschedule flow, if the user want to change the single call to be a video call because the user needed to be sharing the video, we redirect the user to the chain to video call flow. But what are those flows in here? What what that means? Well, the the usage of the flows is to prevent to make it to be to be a mess. Um, because the idea of flows is to create, specific pieces or small flows to be integrated in a main flow, which is this one, which is the entry point of the call. In here, let me show you. I have the flows, the main flow, and then I have other flows that will allows me to have a better organization of the virtual agent. Let's now take a look at the uh, chain to call flow because, well, this is a small one, and then we will look at the reschedule flow. Um, by clicking in this option, I will redirect to the flow, and every flow continues after the um, the flow was initiated, which means um, in here also in the in the whole flow there is already we already know that the user wants to switch to call or change the appointment to be a single call, and because of that we go to the single call flow. So since the user said that he want to change the appointment, we we will need a way to know which appointment is the user looking for to be changed to a single call. Because of that, I have another collect node to ask the user what's the appointment number. So to achieve this, since in SimplyDoc we don't have like a way to know uh, like a friendly way to identify each appointment, we did some small changes to generate a unique random ID or a number of 6 digits that allow us to identify uh, appointments. So because of that, I here asking the user to pro for the appointment number. So once the user answered this, this the provided number will be stored in the appointment number parameter. Again, parameters are the way to go when you need to capture uh, data from the user that is calling. Something else to mention, and it's really important for the collect node, is that yeah, you can um, get that value from the user when the user can tell in the call the the appointment number, but also we can enable the DTMF option, which will allow the user to use the the uh, the keyword to provide the the appointment number, and also in here we can um, do some configurations for the user. Um, Something else to mention is the retry prompt. We can configure this to let the user that we wasn't able to catch the number, so we can ask the user again. Also, we can um, say, okay, how many times if we are not able to catch to get the number, we can ask the user the same question again, which is, and also we can add more than one questions to make it more realistic also. And Vonage AI will choose in a random way from the list the audios we want to that we want to ask to the user, probably in a different. For example, we can add another one to say, could you tell me the appointment number, for example, appointment number, something like that. And what Vonage will do if you have in here like 3 tries, for example, if you can get the number, Vonage will comes through this list and will reproduce any of those in a random way, so the user can hear different questions. So it can be something useful if you need to make it more realistic for users. All right. Um, Once we collect the appointment number, in here I have added another interesting stuff in here, which is the the hook node, the webhook node. This will allow us to, yeah, do an API request to an API endpoint, and we can interact with the API. This is not just a simple webhook integration, because we can send data to the API, and also we can receive that data from the API and set that data through the call flow. So what that means, for example, in here I have this API, which is a post request, and here you can see that we can use all of the uh, API methods, and here you can see that what I'm doing here is I'm sending in the endpoint, I'm sending the appointment number, which is the appointment number that I already collect in the previous node. Do you remember this? So what it will do is, we are sending to our API the collected appointment number. With that, we can go to our database and validate if the appointment number is valid, or if already exists, or if the appointment is already approved or active, things like that, wherever you need. And also we can send some headers, which will be useful to make it secure. We can send a body request. Also in here in the body request, we can send the parameters, for example, I don't know, for example, ID. If, if we press the if we press the symbol, we will able here to send any parameters that we already have in the call flow, which is awesome. And well, regarding to response mapping, in here, something that I really like about it is that based on the API response, I can define this data, that type is the response that I will receive from the API, and this value that will be returned from the API will be assigned to a parameter, which is appointment type. Why I need it here? Because, well, I will show you in the next steps. But for example, is to know if it's valid. I have another parameter called appointment exist. Um, again, this is really really awesome because you by you can use the API response and set those values and use them through the whole uh, agent call flow. So it's it's really really powerful. I really really like this feature. So now we already have what the appointment type is if the appointment is valid. So with that, I can I have added a new node in here which is the validation node. In the validation node, in here I have added validations. How I consider that something is not valid or the appointment is not valid. Well, it's not valid if appointment exists, a parameter doesn't have a value, or the appointment exists set sets no. So based on that, I will say the appointment doesn't exist or well, it's not valid. If that happens, I will say hey, the provider appointment number doesn't exist, and I redirect the user to provide the appointment number again. So with and this is I really like this iteration because it makes the user the ability to, oh, sorry, I provide a wrong number, and they give us the correct number after that. Um, Also, we have another validation based on the if the appointment type is equal to an audio call, which means the the appointment is already a single call, so it doesn't need to be a video call. So so we can say to the user, hey, you are trying to chain a call which is already a single call. So we can handle that also. Again, uh, you can see here I try to cover all the scenarios. But what happens if the appointment is valid? This is already a video call. Um, this is already a video call that exists. I ask the user to confirm if the user really wants um, to change the appointment. For into for that again, I have a collect input which allows me to again ask the user. But in here you can see also in the question I use the provided appointment number. It will say it in the when the agent asks the user to confirm the appointment chain. It will say your your appointment type, but in this case, it will say your audio call will change to. Oh, sorry, your video call will change it to audio call. Is that correct? So it this is I use this by this way just to show you that um, we can use those parameters also to speech users. Um, and remember that this value, the value for this appointment type parameter, was provided from the API response, which is awesome. Um, and this asks for the user to confirm, and we store the confirmation value in the appointment um, confirm chain parameter. And based on that, we um, comes to this uh, classification node, and in here I have the intents that I shown at the beginning, which is the intent to confirm and the intent to cancel. If this is confirm, say for example, yes, correct, do it, or something like that, um, we will redirect the user to, well, will redirect the flow the um, to the chain type flow, which is an API request to store the new the new appointment type. And something that to mention here is that I'm using a node in here. This node allows me to change the current value of the appointment type. Why I'm doing this in here? Because the the appointment type is already have the current appointment type of the appointment, but I will need to change it um, to be the new appointment type. Um, for example, now the appointment type will be video, but now I need it to be audio because this is the value that we